The results of the final elimination round are in, and Rishi Sunak has made it to the top. He has consistently been leading these elimination rounds, and today was no different. But what perhaps has come as a surprise is Liz Truss. Liz Truss is steadily climbing up that ladder, and today she has displaced one of the favorite among the Tory members, Penny Mordaunt, from that number two position and is now in the final two. The two contestants have the summer to campaign among the Tory members, and there are about 180,000 to 200,000 Tory members who will be casting their vote over the summer. And on 5th September, we will know who the new Tory leader is, and of course, the person who occupies 10 Downing Street here in the United Kingdom. Can history be made? Could this be the British Indian Rishi Sunak, the first ever ethnic origin prime minister this country will ever see? Or will Liz Truss become the third woman prime minister of this country? Joining me today is Lord Rami Ranger, a conservative peer here in the House of Lords behind me. Thank you, Lord Ranger, for joining us today. You have been actively involved in Rishi Sunak's campaign, so a congratulations.
Thank you very much for inviting me to your show, Ruhi. First of all, I would like to congratulate Rishi and his family for giving us this remarkable result. It is amazing to see in my lifetime, when I came as an immigrant, to see an immigrant fighting to be the prime minister of this great country. But Rishi has achieved whatever he has achieved on merit, not because he is an Indian. He has proved himself. He's highly educated, a very experienced guy. He has run the Treasury Department. He was a finance minister, then chancellor. So he knows how to turn the economy around. And then during the COVID, he demonstrated his mettle. He made sure that the livelihoods are not destroyed due to COVID pandemic. So he gave a lot of financial help to small businesses, to families, to make sure soften the blow of the COVID pandemic, which was unprecedented. So we are very excited, and I'm sure 1.4 billion of us around the world scattered also very excited that one of the guy has shattered the glass ceiling, a glass ceiling which was never, it was not even imaginable that this guy has really got just one step close to be the prime minister, and I'm pretty sure, pretty confident he will be. The reason being that because whoever is popular in the parliamentary party has to run the country, and if the people don't support him, then it will send a very poor signal because they have gone against the wishes of the parliamentarians whom they represent. So therefore, it is very, very important for the sake of this great country that we have a prime minister who is not only supported by his own colleague, which we have seen, he's demonstrated right from the very beginning. He was a favorite, and he has come to the last two, and a public has to support so that this person has the endorsement from both the sides to be an effective prime minister to deliver what is required, which is to unite the party, unite the country, and above all, win the next election and stabilize the economy.
Rishi Sunak has won this not because of his Indian roots per se, but because of the merit, what he's put on the table. And we've heard him constantly talking about the different policies that he wishes to implement. He's also been very frank about the state this country is, the rising inflation, the cost of living crisis, and he says he has a plan for that as well. But you also mentioned shattering glass ceilings, and that is a huge step. And Conservative Party has been, it seems to be in the forefront of doing this with two women as prime ministers and now an Indian origin candidate who could very well be the next prime minister. So yes, there's a lot of enthusiasm in India, but there's a lot of enthusiasm within the diaspora here. and you have been a very active member of this diaspora. What are you hearing from the different Indians that are here in this country? How do they feel about this?
Well, the victory is not because of Indian. Victory is because of the British public and British parliamentarians overwhelmingly have supported Rishi because they think he's the right man to fight the labor leader. He's the right man to have ideas for the economy because, as you know, we are going through very difficult time. Rishi is very clean. He has no baggage and he is a very humble person. He's approachable and people like his quality that he's ethical. He is going to bring good governance to the Westminster. So therefore, Rishi is going to be an asset to the British Conservative Party because he will now attract a lot more ethnic voters to the Conservative Party because the party has demonstrated that it does not matter where you come from, what matters where you're going. And Rishi is going right straight to number 10 and to show that, well, we already demonstrated that every blue chip company is run by Indians. So why not number 10? And Rishi will be whiter than the white. He will be very transparent. He will work very hard because he has to prove himself, and he cannot let the people who select him down. So I am sure he will be burning midnight oil throughout his tenure.
And now he has to take that message to the Tory members who are overwhelmingly not from the immigrant class, as we know that. So yes, he was born here, he went to school here, he's been actively involved in businesses, in society, in cultural issues, and of course politics in the UK. And he will have to appeal not just to the minority select Indian Tory voters, but the wider public, which is full of multicultural nationalities and the deep blue Tory belts that exist in the country. What is the plan over the summer? Do you have any idea what Rishi plans to do?
Well, Rishi is going to now go up and down the country setting his vision for Britain. And because the advantage of Rishi is that we are about to sign a mother of all trade agreement with India. You know, India, the free trade agreement with India will be the mother of all free trade agreement because of the population, the size of the economy, and the size of the market. Because we need everything Britain can make. So therefore, if Rishi is on the helm of number 10, he will be able to get more out of this free trade agreement. There'll be a lot more collaboration, and you can imagine the amount of Indian businessmen queuing to enter Britain to set up their businesses because this will send a signal to all those people and even across the world that this is a place where color doesn't matter, race doesn't matter, religion doesn't matter. What matters is your caliber, your loyalty, your commitment, and your vision for this great country. And Rishi's got all those, and I'm very excited. And I'll be campaigning in the grassroots now. The voting is to be grassroots to give them the benefit what Rishi can bring to the table. And Rishi's success will be the success of the party and the country. That's what the message has to go because we need somebody who can turn the economy around because we are facing huge crisis due to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Everything is going through the roof, petrol shortages, grain shortages, and they have a knock-on effect on everything. And therefore,
Yeah, and you
the
rightly mentioned the free trade agreement. And we also heard Rishi very recently at one of the debates say that he was extremely proud of his parents-in-law and enforces and the contribution enforces an Indian company makes on the UK soil by hiring thousands of employees and boosting the economy of this country. And of course, with the free trade agreement, we hope to have many such collaborations as well. But I'm going to ask you a very quick question here. We just had the heat wave and it's been a terrible, terrible summer to begin with. Rishi is quite clear on his climate goals. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I can tell you one thing. Rishi will never say anything which he cannot deliver. Regarding income tax cuts, his word is first we will tackle inflation, then we will reduce the income tax. He is not going to give false promises because he is very conscientious. If he says we're going to go for zero carbon, he will go for zero carbon. He will make every effort. he has to prove himself because if British people have put their faith in him. He has a great deal of responsibility and obligation to make sure that he does not let them down. And I'm very confident, knowing his track record from where he started, even though he's married to the richest young lady, he has never taken advantage of his wealth. He has never flaunted his money. He has stayed grounded. Would you believe they are so humble at time? You wonder, you know, their values are so good. They have been rounded from their parents from both sides. Mrs. Murthy, how humble she is, what work she does. So this man has been influenced by his parents and his in-laws to be the best among the rest.
My final question to you. You've seen several prime ministers come and go in the Conservative Party. You've been friends with many of them, David Cameron, Boris Johnson. How do you see Rishi as being different from his predecessors?
Rishi will be, first of all, very transparent, very honest, and very straightforward, and very humble. Unfortunately, I was very fond of David Cameron. He was victim of the referendum, and Boris Johnson was the victim of the sleaze in number 10. They were both very bright people, very intelligent people, but something, politics is such tricky business that you have to be very careful, and sometimes things go out of hand without you realizing. But as far as Rishi is concerned, Rishi is going to create his mark. First of all, he's ethnic. This will be a great signal for people like me, but I'm too old to be contending for the prime minister. But there'll be a lot of motivation to the young Asian or young black, young different colors. That here's a man. He has achieved success. We too can. He'll be a great man to emulate. So, in a nutshell, he'll be honest. He'll be transparent. He'll be humble. He will unite people. He will be listening man. He will listen. He will not be arrogant. So all this quality which keep him on the ground, Rishi has them thanks to his parents and in-laws.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Lord Ranger. And we look forward to hearing lots more from you and seeing a lot more of Rishi as he campaigns over the next few weeks until he can make that final step into 10 Downing Street. So we wish him the best for that. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Of
Thank
course,
you, everybody. Keep praying for Rishi. Thank you.
and as you know, that this is not going to be a very simple race. Rishi Sunak is up against the Foreign Secretary Liz Truss. They have the summer to campaign right till the beginning of September. 2nd September is when the final votes are cast, and 5th September when the results are out. So it will be an uphill battle, but Rishi has what it takes, and we've seen that during this leadership contest that took place till now. He's been constantly leading, but will he be that man in number 10? We will wait till September to see that. In London, for Mojo Story.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.